Robert Affolter here. Welcome back. What we're going to talk about this time is the red ball experience. There's a little history behind this I thought you'd find interesting. Back in the 90s, I think it was 1997, I was working with a colleague and he saw this ad for a course on how to trade commodities. And with my MBA background, he thought it'd be great if I'd take the course and teach it to him. So he spent $1,000. I agreed to do it. He spent $1,000 for this course. And he got it in the mail and handed it to me and then lost interest in it. so I took the course and I opened it up and there was a letter from the course creator. And it was all about how was just having this awful life and he walked in dejected and depressed and went to this used bookstore and he found this book that changed his life. This changed everything for him. And when he became successful, he sought out the author and found the author's widow and got the rights to his books. And the author was Vernon Howard. And he was including the materials with the course because he said the first thing you got to do is get this. And one of the things I learned from Vernon Howard was this experience of how to control your thinking. And I thought it was so powerful, I just make it part of my course. So this is just a little bit of an alteration on what Vernon Howard was teaching, but I think you're going to find it very powerful. I hope you have the experience that I had. It really changed my life. So what I'm going to do is put a red ball up here on the screen. There's the red ball, and I'm going to set a timer. And for 30 seconds, I want you to sit comfortably in a chair, look at this red ball. You're going to close your eyes when I tell you. And you're just going to focus on that red ball. You're going to focus on that in your mind. If you don't see the actual image, try to just think red ball. And if you find that your mind wanders away, catch it and bring it back to the red ball. All right, so sit comfortably. Watch the red ball. Close your eyes. Picture the red ball. And I'm giving you 30 seconds starting now. Okay, stop. Okay, how'd you do? Did you see the red ball? Did you catch your mind wandering? And if you didn't, don't worry about it. It's something you got to practice. I liken it to doing a mental push-up. You catch your mind wandering and you push up and then you push up and then you push up. You got to just keep catching it until you get better and better at it. Now, another analogy is the 4 stages of being conscious, right? So the 4 stages of consciousness are the unconscious incompetent. I don't even know that I don't know. The conscious incompetent. I know that I don't know. The conscious competent. I can do it, but I have to think about doing it. And the unconscious competent. I can do it without thinking about it. Think about it like driving a car. When you learn to drive a car, first of all, you don't even know that you don't know how to drive a car. That's the first stage. The next stage is, I know that I don't know, and gee, this is pretty tough. I'm incompetent. I know that I'm incompetent. But as you practice and practice, you become consciously competent. You can control things as long as you're thinking about it. But the final stage is you're unconsciously competent. You're actually thinking about all kinds of things other than driving, and yet you don't run over people, and you usually get where you're going, right? So we're trying to get to the point where we're becoming more and more competent. And for a while, we got to be consciously competent. And I'm not sure about the unconscious competent. I think maybe we always wind up being consciously competent. I got to think about that a little bit more. But the point is, we got to practice. We got to practice. So if you got it within 30 seconds, how long do you think you could control your mind? And what I'm going to do, I've created a 5-minute exercise for you where it's just the red ball, and every 30 seconds, I say 30 seconds, then I say a minute, and then I say a minute and a half. We go through that for 5 minutes. The idea is to catch yourself as often as you can. Now, I did this in a seminar, and one of the docs said, you know, I was so focused, I was so into that ball that I was inside the ball, and I saw all kinds of things, and he saw the ball bouncing off down the street, and I said, wait a minute. Your mind was wandering, and you never caught it. You thought you were super focused, but your mind got away. You're supposed to just watch it just like it was on the screen, right? So be careful about that. Your mind can get away from you, and you really got to practice and focus on catching it. Now, the ultimate is you're going to catch it and come back, and catch it and come back, catch it and come back, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to catch it and you notice it takes a few seconds for it to come back. Or you're going to catch it and something else comes up, and then something else comes up, and you know, it takes you a while to catch it and have it be the red ball again. Okay? But you want to get to the point where you catch it and it takes a while, and you notice you can just stay in that gap. And I think it's what Deepak Chopra calls that gap between your thoughts. And if you can get into that gap between your thoughts where you just got no thinking going on, it's supreme peace, right? It's really peaceful. It's really nice. Now, we're only going to do this for 5 minutes. You don't want to be doing this. I got to the point I was warned once. Don't do it for more than 5 minutes because you're going to be very adept at it. And I didn't heed the warning. So I wound up like practicing this for like an hour. And stuff just, you know, kind of went away. Fortunately, my wife hung in there. But I nearly had to declare bankruptcy and all kinds of stuff because I was just focused on this nothingness and not focused on my life. So first thing, we got to get control of our mind, but we don't want to go so far that we don't do anything, that we don't have a life. We want to use this to have a great life, not use it so that we don't have a life. So that's what I'm going to help you with. All right, that's it for now. That was the Red Ball experience. Thanks for watching.